say maybe next year I want to run another half marathon, and set some other goals, because it's going to be really good for you and for your body and for the company, it says. Okay, where are we time-wise?
It's 5 to 3.
Oh, really? Okay, then we'll keep it short about the nutritional part, because we're going to have a whole talk only about nutrition. Okay? The most important pitfalls in nutrition are the acid-base balance and the electrolyte balance. That's more nutrition, the hydration part. Because most people that I work with, most of my clients or our clients, they have a state of dehydration of the body, although they might be retaining liquid. Okay? Many people retain liquid, okay? But that's not the liquid intracellular, it's extracellular liquid. So it's something completely different, okay? Most people are in a state of dehydration. If you want to perform, if you want to feel energetic and awake and be able to concentrate, increase hydration, okay? So drink more water, okay? Not talking about 10 liters a day because you'll die, okay? But drink your 2 liters a day of water, okay? Then there's the other, the office drug called caffeine. Who takes more than 3 cups a day? Wow. Okay. That raises cortisol levels quite a lot, okay? And by taking more than 3 cups a day, your cortisol levels go up, and what we said, muscle breaks down. So you don't want that. So you're in constant catabolic state. That's not good for your muscles. Okay? So 3 cups should be about it. One of my best friends, and he's a marathon runner, he takes about 8 to 9 cups a day. But there's nothing left of him. He runs marathons and he drinks a lot of caffeine. And, no. Then, sodas and other commercial drinks, and even sports drinks, they have a lot of added sugars, they have a lot of added chemicals, As we are doing this thing not just to run a race, but also to make you self-conscious about certain health aspects, try to stay away from these things. No, don't try. Stay away from them, because they're not good for you. Okay? Then, in order to improve your hydration and your liquid levels, your intracellular liquid levels, try to decrease dietary salts, because that's something that will affect the acid-base balance. The dietary salts are almost in everything that is processed, together with sugar, either salt or sugar. So stay away from the processed foods. I guess you are all having lunch nearby in a restaurant. So try to look into how they prepare the meal. Ask the cook to not add salt to it. That you will do that yourself, and in the end you won't, of course. So be aware of that, because that's gonna increase your blood pressure. That's gonna decrease your hydration levels. So take a good look at the salts and the sugars in your diet. Increase magnesium, potassium, and other essential minerals. In the nutrition seminar, we will talk more about supplementation and about nutrition. But these are some things that you can already look into now. Get a supplement, like a multi-mineral supplement, okay? And there's a very good website in the UK that's called Nature's Best. I will put it also into the video, where you can order a multi-mineral or multivitamin supplement. It really helps, okay? Even the magnesium is very good to protect cartilage and bones, and so look into that. Another way of getting, of course, some extra potassium would be a banana, but not more than 1 a day, okay? Then solid foods. I will go into this a bit more into the other nutritional seminar, because this is quite a chunk of information. Let's go into performance nutrition a bit more. Supplements. We work with supplements. So I said something about a multi-mineral supplement and a multivitamin supplement. There's some that combine the two. What people that work in the office, and generally people in the Western world, are chronically deficient of is vitamin D. And even though you think, oh, I live in the beautiful Mediterranean, the sun doesn't do that much from October to April, March, April. Okay? It doesn't generate a lot of vitamin D. Actually, almost nothing. Okay? So try to look into a supplement that increases your vitamin D levels. Now, what do we have? We have a normal vitamin D supplement, or you could take cod liver oil. Okay, you get them now in capsules. It's not like 25 years ago when mommy came with the spoon. So actually, the cod liver oil has some other effects. It is anti-inflammatory because of the omega-3 content. It has vitamin A and vitamin E in it. So that would be maybe a very good supplement to take as well. Okay, and that's a very important one. Last one then. Okay, important what to eat before a run, because maybe that comes up as a question as well later. Because there's a lot of people that eat something before their run, and then all of a sudden their stomach goes like, or they want to vomit even. The general rule of thumb is to start slow with a little amount and increase that amount over time. Okay? Because if you're not used to running and not used to having food in your stomach while exercising, putting just a slice of pizza before you run, that's not nice. That acid is not such a nice feeling when you're running. Who has had that before? Who has had problems with acid? Yeah. So try to hydrate about an hour before, like with half a liter of water, half an hour before, okay, an hour before, and have a banana about half an hour or an hour before, and stay with that. And then you start to increase. If the problem persists, then you should eat more a longer time before, okay? So if you would train, say at 6:30, you would have lunch at 2:30, because the body needs time to absorb the nutrients, okay? About 3 to 4 hours, depending on which nutrients that you've taken in. All right. What works well is a banana, some bars, some general fruits, some liquid food that is adapted to not cause those upsets in your stomach. Okay. Well, on that note, if there are any questions, then I'll be happy to respond to them right now. Yes.
You were talking before about short and long runs.
Yes.
And I guess probably your feeling of a short run is quite different from my feeling of a short run. So what is exactly a short run for you?
It's like
I look more yeah.
From here to France, it's short.
I look no, it's from a time perspective, not from a mileage perspective,
Okay.
I would say. Okay? And so a short run would be anything between, right now, between 20 and 30 minutes.
Okay.
Okay? Later on, a short run will be something like 50 minutes. Okay? Because you will get that fit. Okay?
Okay.
So anything under an hour would generally be a short run. Okay? Yes?
So if I get up in the morning, just warm a bit and then go to run, when can I eat just before going running? I mean, if I just run in the morning.
Yeah.
In the early morning.
I would recommend, because your body needs to get into a certain metabolism. Okay? So you eat at least half an hour before something light. So something like fruits or a bar, okay, but not something heavy. Okay? And then you start running slow. Like I said before, the first 2 miles, you make it the first 3 miles. Really let your body get adapted to it, because at a certain point, you're there. Okay? Give yourself the time to adapt, especially in the morning. Okay? Anybody else?
And after the running, can we eat something that will help to improve our muscles?
Yes, I would always recommend that after an exercise, you would normally eat more protein. Okay? We'll go more into detail about that in the nutrition course, the seminar. But what we will do, what we do normally is that the meal after the run has at least 40% of protein. Okay? And the meal before the run has at least 40% of carbs. I would even say a bit more, okay? Because your body needs the carbs too. Okay?
Regarding the frequency, I was used to run every day at 45 minutes between half hour or 45 minutes. I have asked some of the trainers and they suggest to only run
things. First of all, the most important if you talk about frequency is what is your goal? Okay? But giving the body a physical stress every day is not recommended. Okay? So have at least 1 or 2 days a week off. I would say 2 days a week. So you have 5 days where you do exercise. But you have 2 days that are completely off exercise. Okay, where you rest and your body has a chance to recover, to restore the broken down muscle and become stronger. But if you run every day, if your objective is, I just want to feel better and I'm just going to go for a 5K run, okay, then that is not such a big stress for the body as that you would say, oh, I'm going to do a 10K run or a 15K run every day. Okay, so it depends a little bit, every type of medicine, if you take too much of it, it becomes a poison. Okay, so you have to do everything in the right dosage. Do what your body tells you. Okay, but I would say at least 1 day completely off exercise to really let the body recover. And you'll also notice that on the days that you run, you'll be better. So for anybody that really wants to get better, that's a performance athlete, you take rest. Okay, it's very important. That's why soccer players and athletes, they train in the morning, but they sleep almost the whole rest of the day, and they eat because they have to recover. Okay, because they do train almost every day of the week, and at a high pace and at a high intensity. Okay, so it's important to you're not a high performance athlete, and you actually have to perform a high in a company, which is a lot of mental challenge. So don't forget that those are all factors that are adding to your life and to your body's stress. Listen to your body, go with your intuition, but have 1 or 2 days of rest a week. That would be my recommendation. Yes?
For a beginner runner, just to get an idea on the duration of time rather than kilometers, how long will we be running when we do the marathon if we complete the 21 kilometers?
Depends on how fast you
More,
run.
yeah, but for a beginner runner, that more or less the average speed that we'll be going. But
Well, there are beginner runners that run it in 1:40 or 1:30.
1 hour, 1 hour and a half.
Yeah, but that's really fast. No, 1 hour. No, 1 hour is Olympic record, eh? I would say as a girl in general 150 to 2 hours, then you run about 10 kilometers an
So
hour.
from here to March, we have to manage to keep running for 2 hours.
Half of February.
Half it.
Yeah. So, but this is a very good question actually. This is very interesting because when you prepare for a half marathon or for a marathon, more so for a marathon, when you prepare for that, you never run the marathon. You run up to 3 hours, you run up to 30 kilometers, 32 kilometers, and then you go down again. Because you're not going to run a marathon as a training. Okay? So you might get up to running 1 hour and 50 minutes in your training schedule. And then maybe on the racing day, because the week before, you're going to have a rest. And on the racing day, your body will be recovered and can do those 3 extra miles that you haven't run in the preparation. Okay? Depends a bit on the time that we have, but that's how it goes normally. Okay? Experienced runners do run half marathons as a training for a half marathon. For example, I ran 9 half marathons before doing the Barcelona half marathon because I wanted to increase my personal best. Okay? But that's when you're more experienced. Okay, but if you're a beginner, you will run up to 150, you will run up to 17 kilometers, 18 kilometers, and then you'll do the race. Because those 4 extra go there. That's a mental power, yeah. Okay.
Do you have any tips for treadmill running and how to combine that with outside running?
Yes, more than anything, the treadmill running depends on which treadmill that you use. The surface could be a bit hard. The good thing about treadmill running is you have your hill. So you can do the uphill running, run fast, then make it go plain, and run a bit slower, recover. Okay, so that would be a good way of using the treadmill. What I would recommend if you use a treadmill, always have it in an incline of 0.5 or 1%. That way, you clear much more of the joints than when you run flat. Okay, so that would be my tip for treadmill running. incline to 0.5% or 1% constantly. It improves your physical condition and it will prevent you from having injuries because it clears the joints more.
And uphill should be what percentage?
0.5 or 1. That's
Now the train on the uphill and downhill.
on the terrain.
No, when you said you have to train out like that uphill, like how is it?
The percentage how it would be.
No, well, whatever you have. I mean,
On the treadmill.
on the treadmill. No, you can go up. Depends on the. It depends on the treadmill. I mean, some go up to 10%. Yeah, some even go higher. Some go up to 24 kilometers per hour. So if you have a good treadmill, it will give you a good incline.
So max it.
Yeah. Well, no, I wouldn't do that at the beginning. Not running, walking the maximum. That would be already. I would say go if you want to have something like a hill, have 5 to 6%, and that's going to be tough, because you're not going to do that in the beginning. You just warm up first, and then you're going to do that. You're going to put it up to 5-6% and say, okay, now 2 minutes, 10 kilometers per hour. I'm not going to stop. And then afterwards, with the tongue on the floor, okay, you go down, you slow the pace, you recover, and again, put it up, increase the speed, and run. That way you clear your joints and you really get a good physical condition. There was a question there?
Yeah. Well, this is something very technical, but I was in doubt with this because as all this time that has passed and I've been running, I've seen people that, maybe not us, but people who open their legs so much, and it seems that virtually they reach more distance with less effort. But I tried that myself, and it seems painful. So in a mean, like 20 kilometers, where's the balance between, running fast and doing short distance?
Very good, very good. Because it's a very good question. Because running does decrease our flexibility. Okay, a lot. So if you just run and you don't do those strength exercises and you don't do stretching, your range of movement will decrease. There's runners that go like this, because they cannot open the legs anymore. They don't stretch. So very important is the stretching part, and I forgot about that. It's very good that you reminded me about it because it wasn't in the notes. Really good, thank you. Stretching. Stretching before running, no, because your muscles are cold. You've been sitting in the office the whole day, or you just came out of your bed. Don't stretch. Just start moving slowly. First 3 miles, first 2 miles, start moving slowly. Get your body into the movement. But after the run, you can stretch, and you should. What's even better is to stretch a lot when you warm up a bit the day after, or when you do a recovery run, like a 20-minute or a 30-minute run, just easy pace. After that, your muscles will not be tired because it's a recovery run. They will be more subtle, and then it's the time to do some really serious stretching. Okay? Adductors, quadriceps, hamstrings, calves. Okay? Stretch them. Lower back. Okay? And if you have questions about that, you can look on YouTube. There's some very good videos about how to stretch for runners. Okay? Now, if you see these people with a big stride, okay, those are often people who also have long legs. Okay, that helps to open a lot. Because if you see Adriaan, he does 1 step and I do 5. Yeah? So there's also the anatomical part of it. And some people, some body types, are more compact. Stronger build, they have shorter muscles, okay, and that will decrease their range. Okay, so stretching for a body type like that, or if you feel like you're tense and tight, stretch. Very, very important. I would say equally important to the rest and the exercise. Okay. Anything else? Sorry, that.
So, talking about stretching, if you go for a run in the morning, I always heard that you should stretch first.
No.
It's not true.
No, because your muscles are still, especially no, but that's something else. That's what we also do with the strength class, probably. The whole body movements, all the joints, crack, that is something else. That is getting the joints to work. But stretching out that muscle before the exercise, it actually takes tension away from it that you need at that point. So the explosiveness that your calf needs by stretching it before will decrease, so you're actually more prone to injury. Okay? With football and soccer, etc., they have now come up with the thesis that it's not good to stretch before the match. So they just do the more dynamic things, all the joints, but you don't see them do the stretches anymore. Only if there's a specific problem and they're well warmed up, because they lose explosiveness.
Yeah, it's about technique with your feet and how you should land when you're running, because I've read two completely different things. One that you should run with land on a straighter leg on your heel, and another one you should land with a flatter foot with more of a bend in your knee. So
Okay, again, there it depends first of all on your anatomy, because one says one thing, but for your anatomy that just doesn't work, because your hip is or your pelvis is in a certain position, and you're just not able to do that, and by forcing yourself to do that, you will injure yourself. So first, go with what feels right. Okay, that's very important. Then the footwear. Okay, if you have a high heel on your Asics, or on your running shoe, then you're already more inclined to go forward. So you're rolling more. Okay, I would not land on a straight leg, because there's no muscle that is supporting my knee. Here, my knee gets the whole hip. If it's a bit bent, it's the quadriceps that can take off. Okay? So I would say preventive medicine would be having the knee bent a little bit. Okay?
it's just that sometimes what feels more comfortable isn't necessarily correct.
No. And you will be running faster, you will activate the muscles more, you will get toned more. Okay? If you run with the straight legs, it's what you see. It's when the runners run up very straight and use the leg as a pendulum. So there's not much bending in the leg. Okay? It's for me, and I think for speed and for prevention, it's much better to have a bit more of a bend always in the knee. It also protects the knee more. Okay? Sorry.
Kind of back to the question about the stride. What is more efficient, to have a longer stride and a, let's say, slower rhythm, or a short stride and a very intense rhythm?
Also, that is, what is better depends on the person. It's very, very personal.
I'm referring more to the, let's say, result, the end result.
As
Is
a
it faster, or?
No, the short stride is faster, because you have a short stride and you put a lot of energy in there. Okay? The long stride is more economical. Okay? So that's how. So for a long race, you would normally go for a longer stride, and in a sprint, you don't see them sprint like that, like Monty Python.
But it's like in a half marathon, your body asks you to vary a little bit. They say,
Also,
like, I mean,
Also,
for me, it
but your body will. Especially when you're training, you can vary. But in a race, go with your intuition. Okay, go with everybody has their own running technique, their own biological makeup, their own bio mechanics. Okay, so you will be limited in certain things more than in others. Okay. One more, and then I think
for rehydratation after exercise, you only recommend water, to drink water? No.
For hydration.
Yeah, for hydration.
Beer? I've heard that beer would be one of the best. But no, I know Adriaan. Adriaan has been a performance athlete as well, and he likes to have his beer after the workout. I don't think alcohol is that good. So maybe there are some components in beer, but I don't think alcohol is a very good way to end the training, personally. Water, then you could supplement with the minerals, because that will help the acid-base balance and the electrolytes to get back up. But more than anything, water and a proper meal, I would say. If you run late at night, of course, you're not going to have a massive meal after your run, okay? Because you're not going to lose any weight, okay? I think that we have to start to round it off. So let's do 2 more questions if there are.
You said that we should not drink any coffee. How about tea?
I didn't say that you shouldn't drink coffee.
Yeah, but maximum 3,
So then you stop it better, no? If I cannot have my 5 cups a day, then F it. Tea is the same, it has caffeine in it as well, but a lower dosage. Depends if you have herbal teas. You can have 3 cups of coffee a day. I would recommend 1 a day, just in the morning, because it's just, it helps you get your cortisol levels up. Because in the morning, the cortisol levels after a rest, they are down, and those who get up and they're not getting up very quickly, they do very well on a coffee. But coffee is as anything, is addictive. So I would say try to have more green tea. You know, really full of like phytochemicals and you know what's it called? You know gunpowder.
Yeah, the green tea.
Ah, I don't know that one.
I think
Anything? Anybody else? Well, then I would say thank you. This has been videotaped, so we will post it all on YouTube, so you can see with the notes underneath. You can see it back. If you have any more specific questions, you all have the email address. So send an email, and we will respond to you. And I would say thank you for your time and enjoy your training.